All right, let's go ahead and jump over to our weekly reviews for this week's episode. So let's talk about NXT real quick. Richard, your thoughts on this week's episode of NXT?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a solid show. Not too many takeaways from it besides Keith Lee giving a badass promo.
He cussed twice.
Was it twice or more than twice? I was kind of surprised.
Twice.
I was kind of surprised that didn't like trend or anything because it was just kind of he caught me off guard, and then it was just like, oh my god, like this is great, and then you get the most annoying voice in the world in the background.
Cameron Grimes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's a national treasure. Not Nick Aldis. Not Nick Aldis.
He's got a bit of an it factor right now.
Yeah, talk about a guy that TNA did nothing with.
Yeah. Yep. That promo was awesome. It's more or less just addressing what we saw last week as far as Karrion Kross taking out Keith Lee's buddy, Dominic Dijakovic. And he said, listen, Dominic Dijakovic is a grown man. He's in charge of his own decisions, and he respected that. But now that it's over and Dominic is going to, heal up eventually, is now his eyes are set on getting revenge on Karrion Kross. And he pretty much said, yeah, I'll accept your challenge. And what Scarlett came out in a red outfit this time. I kind of like that. Like, mix it up. Don't always go black. Do some red, too. Red colors. But Karrion Kross appeared on the big jumbo screen and just pretty much just challenged him for the World Championship. And he says, if you don't accept my challenge, right, he's going to go after more people on the roster.
Yeah.
I kind of hope he doesn't accept.
He's like, nah, go ahead, beat up everyone else. I'll go home. I'm the world champion. I'm going to go home and just watch on TV.
Look out, Mia Yim.
Yeah. So he accepts his challenge, and it looks like they're going to have a match at NXT TakeOver 30 or Triple X, XXX, that pay-per-view. But then we saw later on the night, William Regal jumped on a Zoom call, looked like, and said, listen, you two cannot just start making title matches with one another. It's up to me, and we'll decide at a later point. So what do you think's going to happen here with William Regal? Like, do you think he's going to keep them apart for a while? And, like, what's going to happen? How's William Regal going to make this eventually happen?
I think it's gonna come to blows, and then William Regal's gonna do what he typically does and yell, "That's enough! That's enough! You want the match? You got the match!" And then he's gonna name some stipulation.
War games.
Yeah.
War games.
Quarantine war games.
But I have a feeling if he was there, I feel like Karrion Kross could take him out or whatever. William Regal.
Oh, he takes out William Regal.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be quite a turn of events right there.
He takes out the actual authority figure, and then he tells William Regal tells Keith Lee, "Get him" or something.
There you go.
So
if I was a booker, that would work.
Okay, that might work. So that might be an interesting way of getting this match going. So I think they're just trying to create a little more suspense. It's like, listen, they're not gonna immediately get a match with one another. But then again, TakeOver 30 is supposed to be in 3 weeks? It's the day before SummerSlam. So this storyline is going to have to progress pretty fast, though, at the same time over the next couple of weeks. So, okay, maybe next week something's going to happen between the two of them.
Yeah.
And so
I don't think we're going to have a long time to wait. I think we're going to get this week.
Yeah. So, nonetheless, I mean, I know I said last week I kind of want them to stay apart, but at the same time, I'm so stoked for this match, too. So, I mean, it's going to be an epic weekend between NXT TakeOver 30 and SummerSlam. So, dude, all these potential matchups. And also just a quick shout out. Even Drew McIntyre acknowledged Karrion Kross. And he says, I see you. So could that be a potential matchup down the road? Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre on Raw or something? I don't know. I'm excited. But nonetheless, yeah, this main event title scene already got me excited. So, the other thing, too, was a couple things as far as regarding Undisputed Era, and we'll just run down it real quick. So we saw Roderick Strong lose to Johnny Gargano, and that match was interesting because it was pretty much heel versus heel. Johnny Gargano gets the win, which I think was the right move because he's the more newer heel and to keep the momentum going with this newer gimmick. Also, we saw, obviously, Adam Cole lost, a couple weeks ago to Keith Lee, so he's on a downer right now. And so you see, Undisputed Era kind of they're not doing well right now. Their momentum's bad. They're all probably upset.
Kyle's been gone because of quarantine.
Yeah. But then again, Kyle showed up this week with a new haircut, a little faux hawk going.
Pretty sick.
And they're walking down the hall, and to his credit, he starts like a coach.
Gives him a pep talk.
He starts rallying the troops. And it's like, we're the Undisputed Era, man. Like, let's go out there and kick some ass and get back what's ours.
Telling Cole, you got to leave Hollywood out of this, with your publicity or whatever you got going, And,
yeah, so I kind of like this. It's like he's getting them, pumped up. And then we saw later on the night, Imperium wins against the Canadian team.
Everrise.
I like Everrise. I think they're going to be good down the road.
Yeah, I mean, basically it was a squash match.
But Imperium wins, and then sure enough, Undisputed Era comes running out and starts beating the crap out of them, kind of reigniting their rivalry from earlier this year when they had the Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Richard.
How good is Imperium, though? Like, I feel like Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel don't get enough love. Those two are so enjoyable.
They're a
as
superb tag team.
Yeah, no, it's so good. I will admit, I'm a little bummed because we're only seeing 2/4 of Imperium.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see Walter. I want Walter.
And the other guy, what's his name?
Wolf.
Alexander Wolf.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but what Richard, what I'm asking is, okay, kind of like this new, like what we saw in Undisputed Era by the end of this episode, are we getting like a babyface turn from them? Because it's ultimately, you saw Johnny Gargano versus Roderick Strong, heel versus heel. And then you see now Undisputed Era challenging Imperium once again. And we're going to get that tag match next week between Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, I believe. But and so it's heel versus heel technically, unless this is the start of a babyface turn. I don't know. Like I'm kind of torn right now about it all.
I don't know if it is that, or they know that Kyle's okay to come back, so they're just putting the band back together to rock and roll again. So, it could just be them relaunching the Undisputed Era into another winning phase.
True.
So,
I mean, and that's the thing. Maybe this is the start of a new run for them, and could be also potentially their last run, because maybe
could be, because I don't think it's a. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's a babyface turn when you see how they jumped the Imperium, because Imperium didn't do anything to provoke them. They were just out there talking about how great they were, and then the UE came out and beat the shit out of them.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Is like, so maybe this is the beginning of their last run in NXT before they eventually move over to Raw or SmackDown. At the same time, though, I wonder maybe it's a ratings thing, because we know Undisputed Era, the fans do love them, even though they are heels. They do draw ratings, so maybe they're like, we need to get them back on TV every week.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited. That's just something I'm going to keep in the back of my head. Is like, okay, we see Undisputed Era taking on other heels, and like theoretically, that's not traditional, storytelling in wrestling. So one of them, I would think, needs to be a baby face at some point. So that's just an observation I want to throw out there. So we'll see how this progresses. Also, just quick shout out, Isaiah Swerve Scott taking on Jake Atlas for a big win there. And just, the reason I'm bringing this up is, they have great chemistry together. Awesome match. Tommy, you and I, we saw them last year at APW
right.
over a year ago. And that match was such a banger here in the Bay Area. And like some people said, hands down, that was probably match of the year for All Pro Wrestling. And I don't know, whoever the powers that be would upload that match to like YouTube or something. Like, All Pro Wrestling has such an amazing video catalog of so many great matches. Mm-hmm. I wish they would just put that out there online. Yeah. So it's just cool seeing that match on TV. Another reason why you should go support your local independent wrestling, especially when it comes back, because you're going to see awesome matches from great top upcoming talent who eventually will be the stars of the next generation of great superstars on TV. So I just want to give them a big shout out. Love that. And then the main event for the night was another triple threat, building up for that North American Championship match, the ladder match at NXT TakeOver 30. So we saw Dexter Lumis take on Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher. Richard, thoughts on this main event here?
I thought it was really good. It was pretty much what you expect, when you see those three names. So I didn't think it was spectacular or special in any other way than it was just a really good main event match.
Shocker, though. Dexter Lumis out of the 3 got the victory here.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that Loomis's submission is being built as almost an instant win in a way.
Yeah.
And it puts, it just puts them to sleep in a snap, especially someone like Timothy Thatcher. I mean, my God. I mean, it also helps that Thatcher's character, that he's an animal and that would rather pass out than release a hold, in a way.
So it was interesting that Dexter Lumis got the victory here.
Yeah.
And so now he's the second contestant or competitor, I should say, in that ladder match after Bronson Reed. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because it's like, okay, 2 winners so far are kind of like these upcomers or probably lesser known entities on the NXT roster. So Richard, are you cool with that? Like they might be all these potential competitors in the ladder match could be like more younger upcoming talents on the NXT roster?
Totally. Yeah.
It's a good way to
takeovers have never not delivered. So
yeah,
getting some new faces on a takeover for me is pretty cool.
And also, I mean, I like to think the North American Championship, it's their second tier title for the singles competitors, but also I think it's a way to really establish new stars and gives the rub to who NXT sees as like the future of the company or of the promotion. So I think this is good. You're creating the next set of stars, especially because, I mean, they lost Matt Riddle and some other people to Raw and SmackDown over the course of the year. So they need to start building up the next crop of NXT superstars. So I think this ladder match is great. And that's what the ladder match a couple years ago did at WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans. So I'm excited for it. And yeah, we'll see next week, next episode of NXT. It's going to be Damian Priest. The Austrian, or the rugby guy.
Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland, yeah, Menzies, and Oni Lorcan.
Oni Lorcan. Any predictions, Richard? Who do you think might win that one?
I mean, Archer of Infamy.
I'm thinking it has to be Damian Priest.
Damian Priest should win.
They're not going to throw all new people in there.
Yeah. They need, a balance.
They'll make it competitive, but Priest will stand tall.
And I don't know. I kind of have a feeling Damian Priest might win the whole thing.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's just an early prediction. So looking forward just to more of the build-up for that ladder match. So very fun episode of NXT.